All right, rock and roll. Welcome one, welcome all to the Scorched Earth Political Podcast. I am your host, John, and if you could kindly hit that like and subscribe button, it means a lot to us. Feel free to drop a comment. I appreciate them all, troll, non-troll, whatever you got to say. Let's talk about it. I try to respond to them in a very quick manner. Expeditious, I think, is the word. All right, let's get to it. Let's burn it all to the effing ground. And let's start out with a happy story here. There is a No Kings rally this Saturday coming to a city near you, and I deeply hope that you have the time or the ability to attend. If not, just send out the love. Just send out the love for all the people who are going to be protesting. We've had a couple of these No King days in the first couple months of the Trump administration. They've been overwhelming successes, and I will be attending. I hope that as many Americans can attend these to fight for the ideals of freedom. And the powers that be in Washington are very scared of what we are doing. They notice, they are watching, they are terrified of what we do and what the power we have when we are unified. It scares the bejesus. What they power brokers want to do, honestly, is they want us to fight against each other, right? So we don't have to look at them. They want left to fight right, but not look at the power base that's above us. And that's exactly what Donald Trump and his acolytes do, Stephen Miller especially. They want us to be petty with each other. You're a left winger, you're a right winger. Oh yeah, okay. Fight with each other, get down there in the ground, and hopefully everybody dies so they can just have their monarchy or whatever they want to do. So, like I said, no Kings on Saturday, but not everybody seems to be too happy. Let's start out with Speaker Mike Johnson of the House of Representatives. He calls it a I Hate America rally. You know, here's somebody, and I keep waiting for his Grindr account to come out, that doesn't understand what democracy is about. He understands his power and his power alone. And anybody who questions it or doesn't go along with it becomes the enemy. And that's not what America is built on. We saw that with the great Joe Biden. Think about this. Joe Biden in his State of the Union address, Marjorie Taylor Greene wore the craziest getup, was totally disrespectful, and he went by and he laughed with her, and they had a moment. Even in a very fraught political situation, there is people who can rise above it, who do care about the ideal of let's get along, let's figure it out. Right now, the power brokers want us to stay as divided as possible because that cements their power with their base. They don't want to have less power with everybody. They'd rather have all power with a smaller majority. But also, Tom Emmer, representative of Minnesota, who I have never heard of, said that the No Kings rally is basically a way for them to score political points with the leftist wing of the party. Oh, terrorist wing. Yeah, okay. We're the terrorist. It's almost such a numb situation when they keep talking about the terrorist wing of the Democratic Party. Like all the shootings, all the assassinations, all the political violence comes from the right. You can sit here and talk about, oh, it's 50-50. That's such nonsense. Literally, you know why? Because if there was somebody who was based in the left wing, who did a political shooting, who did a mass shooting, it would be all over everything in the media by the Trump administration and all its acolytes. They are disgusting, they are disturbing, and they are nothing but a propaganda machine who only believes in their own political power, not in the greatness that is America. All right. Our second story is we're going to talk about the Trump Vengeance Tour 2.0. And that's, we had James Comey. He got indicted. Basically, in the Southern District of Virginia, the prosecutor said, there's no way I could charge him. There's no substantiation of charges. Trump immediately had that person removed, put in somebody new. They brought up some BS indictment charges in a grand jury, which, the story is you could get a ham sandwich indicted in a grand jury. So then they went after Letitia James, and her crime was getting 34 felony convictions against Donald Trump in a Manhattan courtroom. So they have to go after her. Now, the new person that they got this scope on, and I do mean that I do mean that pun intentionally, is John Bolton. Now, he was the national security advisor in Trump 1.0. And he has been a vociferous critic of Donald Trump ever since he left the administration after 2 years. And he basically has said he was an idiot. He got played by China. He got played by Putin. We all know the rigmarole, right? Donald Trump didn't like having anybody criticize from inside the White House, much less outside. So what does he do? He gets some BS indictments. But the funny part of it was, and I was looking through the indictment list, 10 of the charges were basically John Bolton. Let's be unequivocally clear here. I agree with almost nothing that he believes in. He's a war hawk. He is a fearmonger on a lot of issues. But I do say this, he believes in America. He is an American patriot. Him and I don't have to agree. I do respect him for being somebody who does believe in the American ideal, who does believe in free speech, who will fight for it. And I applaud the man for that. But that's obviously why he's a threat to Donald Trump. But the charges, 10 of the charges involved, he is a very fastidious note taker. The joke used to be that he will get carpal tunnel in a 3-hour meeting because he is taking a note on everything. He takes notes on notes. Well, I guess what the charges seem to indicate is that he transferred those notes into an AOL mail account. Don't know why, don't know what the purpose of that was, but he's a smart man. I'm sure he had a reason. But it wasn't secured. So that is the breadth of the charges. But let's go back in the time machine. 2018 is when he did this. 2017, 2018. And that same period of time, and this isn't being reported in the press, and I guess, maybe they just give up on it. Jared Kushner and Ivanka, the daughter and son-in-law of the president, did the exact same thing with highly sensitive documents in private email accounts. They took it a step further. They used unsecured phones to send very sensitive text to foreign leaders, to different individuals in the government. Under Trump, it's literally the easiest job in the world must be if you're a spy for another country. Literally, how hard is it to hack an AOL or a Yahoo or a Gmail account? It's probably not very hard. But the irony comes, though, in Donald Trump, the man who took tens of thousands of classified documents down to Mar-a-Lago because he could declassify them with his mind, that were sensitive government information, put him in a bathroom that didn't have a working lock, and now is going after forget James Comey, he's going after John Bolton for exactly that thing, what he claims. And I will say this, John Bolton cares about American security much more than Donald Trump. Donald Trump doesn't care one iota about any sensitivity of any documents. I still remember when he came into the White House in 2017, disclosing sensitive military information to the Soviet ambassador. And everybody was aghast. They were like, how can you do that? And he goes, hey, I can do what I want. I'm the president. I can declassify it at any moment. And technically, he was right. Now, if Barack Obama had done that, they'd want to literally put him in jail for 1,000,000 years. But it is what it is. So let's go to the third story. And this is just so bloody outlandish. We have the federal government, immigration, law enforcement, descending upon Chicago. Chicago is fighting back. Go Chicago. And they went to a federal judge. And because there has been such violent interaction between, let's just basically call it, I know it's not official, between ICE and protesters outside ICE facilities, we have numerous videos, we have news accounts and media reports of it, and it's getting more and more violent. And actually, we are seeing ICE initiate a lot of the violence towards the protesters by throwing tear gas at them, doing rubber bullets, things like that at peaceful protest. Well, let me tell you something. As somebody who's been tear gassed, you get tear gassed, it gets a little angry. You get a little pissed off. That's just all I'm just telling you right now. That's just the human reaction. So Illinois went in front of an Illinois judge, Chicago, went in front of an Illinois judge and asked her to make all ICE and law enforcement in this immigration battle wear body cameras. Now, she initially ruled that they all would have to have working body cameras on them to be able to document their interaction with protesters. What I'm going to tell you is insane. So the Trump administration appealed it because, wait for it, and it was successful, that they could not outfit all their ICE agents because they didn't have the money. Yeah. Now, the judge obviously isn't going to go deep into this and probably gave them a temporary stay. I know there is a stay that all ICE agents do not have to have the body cameras because of the monetary issue. But let's think about this. They have a bigger budget than Russia, the UK, and Greece combined. And they don't have enough money to put body cameras on all their agents? Really? Interesting note. Oh, also another interesting note. HHS memo was discovered today and saying that all the ICE agents are going to get paid during the government shutdown. We're not going to pay air traffic controllers, but we're going to make sure all those ICE agents get their money. If you're kind enough to follow, we do stories, and literally 20 times a week, I'm incredulous. To think that we have money in this shutdown to keep ICE fully funded, but we don't have money for air traffic controllers. We don't have money for SNAP. We don't have money for WIC. We don't have money for federal lunch programs. But we have money for ICE? On some level, how absurd can it all be? We have the money to chase down people in a Home Depot parking lot? I don't know. It is utterly amazing that we, in this administration, the same administration that gave $20 billion to Argentina because he's the right-wing buddy, but we can't pay down our debt. We cannot pay our traffic controllers. We cannot pay the people. We kicked 14 million people off Medicaid 3 months ago. I wonder if that 20 billion could have took care of that. Yeah. Final Jeopardy says hell yes. All right. That's it for today. If you could, hit that like and subscribe button. I always appreciate the love, and we'll see you soon on the Scorched Earth Political Podcast.